for us to cover everything tonight.
I got you.
I know that there may be some more questions that you have.
Yeah.
I know that there will be more information that you'll want to receive, and we'll get that information to you. But we're going to go and give you broad level information to help make this transition for those of you who are incoming ninth graders a little bit easier. Okay? So those are the things that we'll go over tonight. Now there are three things that I've been focused on as I make this transition in as the principal. The first and foremost is to make sure that we're creating a culture of trust. And culture of trust, I mean, we're starting to have these in-person opportunities. And if we can't reach you in person for whatever reason, we're going to meet you virtually. So those of you that are streaming with us this evening, thank you for logging in so that you also can get the content. And if you're not able to get the content, it will be available online. So we know that trust takes time, trust involves listening, trust involves partnering. And as we partner, we need to make sure that we are supporting one another. Because you want your child to have a great high school experience, and we want the same thing. The next piece that we've been focused on, or that I focused on in these early days of my transition, has been making sure that Jackson Reed is a safe place for your child to learn. Not only for your child, but also for our staff members. So we spent some time making sure that the work orders are in on all of our exterior doors, making sure that things are functioning in such a way that not only the safety of the perimeter is in place, but also inside the building. And it goes more than just making sure that folks are following protocols upon entry and that things are working inside. It's going to take some time for us to make sure that we are teaching our children and our young people how to not only respect themselves, others, but also the school. How do we create a collaborative and welcoming environment, not only for your child to come and learn, but also for our staff to come and work? Because those things can also take away from the learning experience. So we'll be doing and spending time this year focused on that. And then last but not least, the thing that every school is focused on, and that's making sure that more students achieve academically. And we can improve academically, regardless of where our children are, whether they have a 4.0 GPA, or they may be struggling to stay on track and promote. We want to make sure that regardless of where we're at, we're spending time building, reaching, intervening, and challenging our students to be the best possible student that they can be. So those are the three things that I've been focused on at the beginning of the school year, over the summer, and will continue. And I was speaking with one of the fathers here tonight. He said, wow, a principal of 2,200, 2,000 kids, that's a lot, that's a massive job, and it is, but it's made easier with great people. So I just want to let you know the individuals who support me in this work, and people that will probably respond to an email before I get to, the people that you'll interact with more frequently, and that's members of our leadership team. So tonight you're going to hear from Ms. Blunt. She's one of two assistant principals for the ninth grade. Give Ms. Blunt a big round of applause. She's going to be leading you through the activities tonight. We have Mr. Minster, who is a teacher here at Jackson Reed and recently promoted to the assistant principal position. We have Ms. Goodman, who is the 10th grade assistant principal. A big round of applause for Mr. Bargeman, our former interim principal and now 11th grade assistant principal. Mr. Anthony and Ms. Robinson will be leading our 12th grade class, and you'll see them throughout the building. And then we have a layer of directors and coordinators who support us in this work. One being Dr. Goff, who supports our special education program, Mr. Wims and Ms. McClure, who support our NAF academies that we have here at Jackson Reed. And finally, somebody who you may not see much of, but they're always around throughout the building because they're making sure that the building is functioning and staff is doing what they need to do from a facility standpoint, and that's Mr. Hall. So these are the individuals that will support us throughout this school year. Now, you heard about who we are. I ask that each of you take out your phone And then just take a shot of that QR code, because I want to get an opportunity to hear about you, to find out who we have that will be joining us. So please take a few minutes here, because when I talk about a partnership, part of that, it's not one-way communication. It's not just us standing here telling you about Jackson Reed. It's also about you telling us about you, so that we can better support, respond, and meet your educational needs, so that we can support all of you towards graduation. So if you can pull out your cell phones, whether that be each of you or one per family, however you want to set it up, let's just take a few minutes and complete those brief questions that are associated not only with contact information, but also tell us about your child.
It's set to landscape.
And like I said, we'll
Because
take
my phone is up.
2 to 3 minutes to complete that and be back.
Straight up and down. Let me see. Hold on. It's straight across now.
Okay, for the sake of time, we're going to move on, and you can
Is it better?
complete that as we go, but I definitely want to give the majority of tonight over to Ms. Blunt. So there's a few things that I'm going to go over prior to turning it over to her. First and foremost, I want to make sure everybody's aware of some of the mental health supports that we have here, because we recognize and know that it has been challenging, to say the least, over the last 2 years. And we know that our young people have had difficulties navigating virtual learning, hybrid learning, having to quarantine, teachers having to quarantine, the interruptions to learning, all that has taken place. And we want you to know, families, that we have supports here to address that. 2 psychologists as well as a number of social workers. And there is information, and this will be available online where you can click, and if you want to make a referral for mental health supports, it will be available to you. Now, a couple of things that are very important. And that is, as we all are here to get ready for the start of the school year, and that is the test to return policy that is in place. You should have received communication. If you didn't, it's posted on our website, and we will now, especially since all of our 9th grade families are now rolled over into our system and database, we will be messaging out some more specifics around returning to school. And one thing that I want to make sure everybody is aware of is the test to return requirement. It is not new. You all that have been with DCPS or in previous schools know it's the same thing that happened last year. So I encourage all of you to come out to the building or to get a rapid at-home kit, take that COVID test, upload your results, and be prepared to present them if you didn't upload on the first day of school when you report. Okay, so everybody is required to show evidence of a negative COVID test. Just like last year, it can be evidence, it can be a picture of a negative test. Upload that or come with it, and you can come on into the school building on the first day of school. Now there's also a COVID-19 vaccination requirement, which is new, and every student who is not vaccinated, if they do not apply for the exemption or don't have an approved exemption, will not be permitted in school. And Chancellor Farabee has sent out that information as well, and we will push that information out to make sure everybody's aware of that. Now, this is a big shift, so I want to take some time. This is a shift that is in place. We have approval to do this on Friday, So we spent some time over the weekend trying to build it out in such a way that we can ensure that we can verify everybody has a negative COVID test, and we can ensure that students can come into the building in an orderly manner, get their schedules, and get to class. You may be wondering why. Not only do we need to manage the test to return process, but we also, those of you who came through the atrium, saw that it is a closed-off construction site within the columns. There's a lot happening here at Jackson Breed. They are updating the tile work on the floor to make sure it represents the new name. We have been informed that it will be complete by the first day of school, but I also have to ensure that in the event it doesn't, we can still function and operate. So we have confidence that it will be done, but we have this plan in place, and whether it's done or not, we are going with a staggered arrival. The staggered arrival does not affect our ninth graders. You will come at 8:10, get your schedules, and go to class. It will also give all ninth graders the opportunity to navigate through the building, at least for the first 2 periods, without the crowding, to familiarize yourself, get oriented as you move throughout the building. Shortly after that, we'll have 10th graders come in, and then at our lunchtime, we'll have 11th and 12th graders come in and go to their classes after they get their schedule. 2 things I want to point out, and that's why the test to return piece is important. Please upload your responses or your results, because you'll come through the main lobby. If you don't have evidence of a negative test, you'll come through the pool entrance. And this is where you'll enter. Okay, just so everybody's aware, the green arrow, that is the main lobby, ninth graders. That is where you will enter on the first day of school if you have the negative COVID test uploaded or evidence of the test. The main lobby entrance, right there in the horseshoe, okay? If you do not, you will enter through the pool entrance, which is a little bit further down. If you get turned around, it's okay. We'll have staff there to direct you to the appropriate door. But if you want to come in quickly, efficiently, go through the main lobby, have everything uploaded prior to your arrival on campus. Okay, so main lobby entrance for those students who have evidence of a negative COVID test. You'll come through the main lobby. If you don't, you'll be directed to the pool entrance, where you will test on site. Once you have a negative test, you'll come in, get your schedule, and go to class. If it's a positive test, you'll be dismissed and we'll notify your families on next steps. All right. Now I will stay around and be here, but I'm going to turn it over to Miss Blunt, one of your assistant principals. A big round of applause for Miss Blunt. Thank you so much.
Well, good evening, and I'm grateful for the turnout, so thank you for joining us in class of 2026. How exciting is that? We're going to start with our PTSO president, though. We're going to start with Miss Heather Powers, who will present to you history of the PTSO and all its fabulous functions.
Thank you for coming out. We keep this brief because I'm sure there are many more things you'd rather hear about. But the parent-teacher-student organization is an important part of the Jackson Breed community, and somewhat different from maybe some other schools that you've been to in DCPS. This is an active organization, but we don't have the same level of asks every year. So I have some flyers. I'd be happy to share with you later. Give tonight, I won't bother you the rest of the year, but these are some of the things we do. So the PTSO was organized in 1970. It's all about building community, and that's a theme that you'll hear more and more about tonight. We're here to help the students, help the teachers, help the faculty, and help you as you navigate this large high school and all of the opportunities and challenges that might come with it. So our primary way that we support the school is through your donations. We ask for any donation, anything that you you're comfortable giving. Again, we don't have a gala, we don't have an auction, we don't have major events that you might be familiar with in other schools. We really raise the bulk of our money through your donations. How do we use that? We support student clubs, we support the student newspaper, we support trips, we support some professional development opportunities for the school. We've supported some of the activities to welcome you all back this year and prior years. So there's a number of things we do, and we do most of those through grants. Teachers or faculty will ask for write a grant about what the specific ask might be, and we will, as a board, discuss it, maybe get some more information, and then grant it out, and then come back to you all with, here's how we spent the money you gave to us, and here's how it helped the students or that particular organization or club. So again, if you give now, I won't bother you the rest of the year. I have some information. We have more information on, again, how we spend the money, how we're governed. You're all members of the PTSO, being a parent or a guardian of a student here. If you have interest in helping us in other ways, we welcome, whether it's committees or we are looking for a fundraising chair, if someone would like to take that over from me and Lori and Phillips, our VP. But again, welcome any support, as well as we'll be available to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
All right, so Ms. Powers has been kind enough to give you multiple ways of donating to the PTSO. So if you want to take a minute to screenshot this would be wonderful, because we would love your donation. But take another screenshot of the Remind, because we use this a lot throughout the year, and then we will transition this to 10th grade. Once they've logged in, you do not have to do this again. I will transfer it to the 10th grade administrator, who will also be me probably, but if it's someone new, they will also get this information. Start with our 9th grade important information. I am Assistant Principal Summer Blunt. I was a Spanish teacher here, and then I'm from North Carolina, so I left teaching here at this time Wilson High School, 9th through 12th Spanish teacher, to go to North Carolina for law school. But I ended up realizing that this is my passion, so here I am. I am now an assistant principal of 9th grade. A through F. My partner in 9th grade was going to be Mark Minsker. He's going to be M through Z. We are not limited in our alphabets, as of course we're teammates. We're going to work together. In his absence, I'm going to fill in. In my absence, he's going to fill in. And upon needed basis, we're going to help each other out throughout the way. So that's just how we move as a team. So, go to the bell schedule. So our bell schedule, we have an A-day, B-day schedule. So for A-day, it's going to be Monday, Wednesday, F1. And we will probably have to remind all of our students our Fridays, F1 and 2. And then our B-days are Tuesday, Thursday, F2. And we provided an example for your review, so that you will not be confused when they get their schedules. As you can see, the day starts at 8:10 and ends at 3:30. We have 4 periods, right? So in this case, it's going to be film studies, AP computer science, lunch, which is not a period, and then music and art. Okay? All right. Thank you. All right, so we have a climate and culture team. I have two of my members with me over ninth grade. I have Henry Martinez, who is A through L, and Elvin Jackson, who is M through Z. They will be speaking to you over the course of the next few slides to talk about, of course, discipline, but also just getting you acclimated with how the school opens and the lunch updates and all of those fabulous things under their supervision.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. My name is Mr. Martinez, Henry Martinez. I am the A through L 9th grade Dean of Students. I'll pass it over to my partner.
Good evening, I'm Elvin Jackson, 9th grade Dean for M through Z.
So this is my 6th year here at Jackson Reed High School. I formerly was an attendance counselor for a year. This is my 5th year as a Dean of Students here. I've been able to matriculate a 9th grade class all the way to 12th grade, so I'm very excited to have you guys class of 2026. To talk about, we're going to talk, myself and Mr. Jackson are going to be talking about the daily routine along with the behavior ladder. So I'm going to pass it over to him.
So 9th grade, we will transition from the main entrance between 8 to 8:55. We also advise students to get to class before the first bell schedule, which is 9:05. Also, they will be able to eat lunch in the cafeteria, also the stadium, the art gallery, art room, I'm sorry, and also the stadium as well. I just want to tell you a bit about myself. I'm a former alumni here at Wilson, just to get a rundown. Graduated here in 2011, played basketball, soccer here as well. So just to let y'all know, if you have any questions, my email is elvin.jackson3@k12.uc.gov. If you have any questions. Also, we will give you a tour as well. The A wing is most likely where the gym and the ops gym was the main gym, and the B and C wing are the art and the auditorium wings.
So as far as the school lunch update, during the school year 2022, the school meals will be free due to the USDA waivers. So that was, but during school year 2023, students will be required to pay for meals each day. So there's a price of $3 for lunch, for breakfast and after school. Meals will still remain free. We encourage all families to fill out a free and reduced meal application that can be found online at www.myschoolapps.com. So regarding the behavior ladder, I'm assuming that the vast majority of you all are familiar with how this tier schedule works. So there's tier 1 through tier 5 offenses. So if you've been a part of DCPS, tier 1 and tier 2 behaviors are essentially behaviors that are more classroom-like with disruptions, sometimes hallway-like disruptions, smaller offenses. Tier 3, 4, and 5 are typically for chapter 25, that's the abiding behavior schedule that we abide by. So 3, 4, and 5 are suspendable offenses, okay? So anything that is done within 3, 4, and 5 is essentially something that can be anywhere from in-school suspension to out-of-school suspension, from usually tier 3, from 1 to 5 days of either in-school or out-of-school suspension. And tier 4 and 5 behaviors are typically behaviors that require anywhere from 5 to 10 days of out-of-school suspension. And those are a little bit more egregious behaviors. Myself and Mr. Jackson, our emphasis is pushing our our students into the classroom. So what we would like to see is our students arriving typically between the hours of 8:10 and 8:30. And the reason being is because there's a very big push for students that come in around 8:40, 8:45, things of that sort. If you get in any time between 8:45 and 8:50, you may not be getting into the class until 9:15 to 9:20, which means that you're missing a significant amount of time outside of the classroom. So myself and Mr. Jackson are going to have a restorative justice approach in which we're going to try to make sure that we can work through our issues and behaviors and things of that sort, regardless if they're tier 1s or tier 3s. We'll try to be very friendly oriented regarding that. However, that doesn't mean that we won't have an approach and emphasis on things that are more egregious and we need to put an emphasis on. That just depends on the situation. So I think that's a little bit about us at the time. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Mr. Martinez and Mr. Jackson. Now I'm going to welcome our 9th grade counselors, Mrs. Carol Walker-Brogdon, Taylor Larman, and Terrence Gilliam, who will cover our transcripts, graduation requirements, non-beyonds, and most importantly, community service.
Good evening, everyone. How are y'all doing? I'm Ms. Walker Brogdon, just call me Ms. Brogdon for short. However, my email address will be Walker Brogdon. Kind of tell you a little bit about myself. I have Alpha A through F. My office is listed above for you to contact me. I have heard from some parents in reference to scheduling and things in 504s of that nature. So anytime you need to contact us, you can always email us or give us a phone call. It's not listed yet because our numbers are still not working correctly, but that's okay. You still can contact us. I am originally from Michigan. I kind of forget who I am sometimes. I'm originally from Michigan. I've kind of lived all over Indiana, Ohio. I taught in Alabama first, then Georgia, then Dubai, and then Saudi Arabia, then DC, then Florida, then back. So I've kind of been around a lot. So that's a little bit about me. Oh, and I'm a new grandmother. So I got a grandson who's 3 days old.
Letters G through N, and some of you may be familiar with me for parents. If you've had older students here, in the past few years, I've worked for the DCCAP program where you might have heard of me. While I am not new to Jackson Reed, I am new to this role, so please be patient with me as I navigate the system and try to figure out the best possible way I can serve you all. Prior to coming to Jackson Reed, I served as a school counselor at some of the schools in the district, and then got to DC CAP and served Wilson students for the last 5 years, and now I am here as a guidance counselor working directly for DCPS. I look forward to working with you all.
Hello, good evening. My name is Terrence Gilliam. This is my 16th year, one of my 16th year inside of education. I spent 14 years as a school counselor, and then also 2 years as an educator. Inside the district, this is my 3rd year inside the district. However, I'm happy to announce this is my 1st year here at Jackson Reed. My outlook will be letters O through Z. Looking forward to working with all your students here, getting to know their names and also the family members as well, building a successful organization.
Okay, so what we have here on the spring area graduation
going to be quite a few separate core classes that you're going to need to take. As we see here, we have English. You're going to need to take but you will need to take 4 English classes for your high school career here to graduate. And you also need 4 math courses. And you are going to need 4 science classes, including 3 lab science classes. And there's also social studies. You're going to need that. And if I'm missing something, please tell me, because I'm still trying to learn this aspect of the position. So now, we also have world languages. You're going to need two world languages. You will also need an art class, music, health and physical education, and then you'll have some electives that you're going to need to take. So you will need 24 credit hours in total to graduate. And what we have here, I know you can't see quite clearly, but this is a sample of what your transcript will look like. And I think we do have this. No. You will not be able to see your transcript unless you have middle school credits coming in. So otherwise, it will be no, nothing there, nothing available for you to see. So this is a sample of students who previously had 8th grade credits coming in from 6th, 7th, or 8th grade credits coming in into high school. So the student already has 1 full total credit. No GPA is accumulated as of yet, but there are 3 courses listed. This is the letter of understanding. So one side of the transcript, it has the classes, courses that you take in here within DCPS or any other school outside of DCPS, even out of the country. We put those on there for the students if they're outside the district. However, on the other side, the letter of understanding states all the classes you are required to take to graduate. So say the student, previous students had Spanish, I believe, so the foreign language credit, there are 2 required, and we recommend you take 2 of those in the same language, 2 in 2 separate languages, will not allow you to go to a 4-year university. Okay? So that student had taken Spanish 1, Spanish 1A in one year, and then Spanish 1B in the other. They gave them a full credit of Spanish. So each year, if you do 100%, once you get both years of Spanish, it can show you. However, you have to look at both pages to ensure that all credits are given. So when you get your transfer, you have this conversation, which we call a letter of understanding with you, or LOU. Please make sure that when we're talking to you and you're talking, and we're looking at your schedule, looking at your transcript and reviewing it with you, that you check at just as well as we do, both sides, okay? Because we want to make sure all the information is there, that there's no off, that you retain all grades that you got, no matter where you went to school. Okay? Our schedules, because we have lots of calls about students being able to obtain their schedule, they are not ready in Aspen to be given out yet. So we're still working on them. So they we do not want to say that they were available this week. We'll say they'll be possibly available next week. So we have to wait on DCPS downtown to say that, yes, your schedules, we are ready for you to be in Aspen. Right now, you most likely can't see anything. I don't think I have, has anybody been able to see their schedule? No, right. That's right, because we're making corrections. So any errors that they are, we're making corrections to it. So they closed it down to roll the 8th graders over because they weren't showing yet. So the school year still was 2021, 2022. So we just rolled over 22, 23. So now we're continuing to fill in any errors that we might have known. Yes, your Aspen login should continue. Okay? Any other questions? I'm sorry. That's it.
Okay, this is everyone's favorite graduation requirement. So satisfy graduation requirements. However, students can earn community service hours through any non-profit agency that have a 501c, and then also any local, state, federal government agency as well. I strongly recommend that students start now making a plan to how they're going to accomplish their hours, like doing it each year, so from 9th to 10th, 11th grade, and so by the time you get to the 12th grade, you're not worried about the 100 community service hours, so make sure that you do it each year. So this is a college and career readiness platform that is used throughout the district, and this platform is available for all DCPS students. One of the ways that you can access Naviance is through clever.com. I strongly recommend that this is your first time logging into Naviance, that you take time to watch the tutorial video on Naviance. This will give you an in-depth look at the different tools and resources that Naviance have to offer. So not only will it be beneficial to the students, but it also will be beneficial to the parents as well. Also, parents will be asked to share their Naviance account with their students. So parents and students will share their Naviance accounts. I strongly recommend also that you check this account daily, because the counseling department and other departments of the school will be distributing information through this account. Another tool that freshmen will use through Naviance is our self-discovery assessment. And so this assessment is a great opportunity for freshmen to learn more so about themselves, to learn who they are, things they like, things that they don't like. And then so what this will do, it will be a building block for students to have a better understanding of what career they may want to enter after high school. And then also once they get to their senior year, they'll have a better understanding of which college and university which they can have for themselves. And then lastly, goal setting. Goal setting is very, very important inside of high school and also inside of life. So students will be required as well to accomplish different goals inside of Naviance as well. And lastly, if you have any questions in regards to Naviance, make sure you contact Ms. Webson. She's our college and career senior inside of 108.
Thank you, council. Let's give them a round of applause. Okay, so as you know, it's the beginning of the school year, so we have a lot of members that will be on board. And you'll see a tiger face because we don't have them with us just yet. We have our attendance counselor who's preparing to be with us, Devin Riviera, who will be joining us in the 9th grade. And I will go ahead and go over the attendance information and protocol. So our students are expected to be here 60% of the time to be counted present each day. So that means more than 2 class periods, right? Because 2 out of 4 is 50%. So we want them to be here majority of the day to be counted at 60%. That'll be counted as legally present. When they are not present, we have interventions in place. So we have an attendance protocol for unexcused absences daily. Based on day 1 through 3, we have phone calls, emails, and or letters from the teachers. Day 5, we have student attendance conference, we call it SAC, meeting with student and parent. Day 7 is MPD letters sent home. Student will be placed on attendance progress sheets. They will be picking those up from their attendance counselor. Day 10, there's a SAC follow-up meeting with parent, family, will be referred to the PASS program. Day 15 is a court referral, and day 20, withdrawal letter after CSS or OAG. And then day 31, if the student misses 31 unexcused absences in any class, they will be FA, which means that they will receive a grade of an F, and will have to retake that class due to attendance. Principal Saul Brown mentioned our mental health team, but because we are freshman family new to Jackson Reed, I want to make sure you have a face with the name, okay? So we have our social workers, and of course you have a tiger, so she's onboarded. Her name is Nakia St. Clair. And then with Nakia St. Clair, we have Davine Mathis, who is our other social worker. They will work as a team to accommodate our freshman students. Some of the things that they do are they have group therapy, they have crisis intervention plans, they have Title IV plans and ESL services that they support. They are operating through recommendations, providing learning strategies for classrooms, management, and academic support. They have workshops and training opportunities for students and parents covering a variety of topics. And of course, that's if you need to meet with them. And then increased support for students with significant mental health or emotional health, which leads our social emotional learning strategy. That's operated by an electronic referral form found on our website. These are our psychologists. We have Dr. Corette Arrington. She's a private practice. And then we have with school Dr. Ebony Fitchu and Dr. Leather Vavasor. Those will be our psychologists who will be some of your ninth graders. Now we have our Academy of Hospitality and Tourism Coordinator, Brandon Mims, and Simon Tech Academy's National Director, Regina McClure.
Again, I am Brandon Williams. I am the Academy of Hospitality and Tourism Coordinator. I'm working with various NAP academies this year. This is actually going to be my 13th year. I've held various roles within the school building. Currently, I will be working with the NAP programs.
Hi everyone, I'm Regina McClure. This is my first year at Jackson Reed, but not my first year working with NAP academies. I've been at Eastern High School for the past 4 years, leading an academy over there, and then taught for 10 years before that at Coolidge High School. Very excited to be here with you all. And I just want to, there's so much to share about the academy life, everything that goes into it. We're not going to cover it all tonight, because we want to honor y'all's time, but we at least want to pique your interest tonight to learn more. Our emails are going to be at the last slide. Please bombard us with questions via email so we can follow up with you and make sure all your questions about the academies are open, or answered.
Let's get started. All right, here at Jackson Reed High School, we actually have 10 academies, okay? 8 of which are CTE, Career Technical Education Academies. They come down from OSSI, which is the Office of State Superintendent of Education, all right? Then we have 7 NAP academies. This is up 3 from last year. Last year we had 4, we're adding 3 more this year, all right? And NAP stands for National Academy Foundation. And basically, they are small learning communities that are aligned with the program of study. The 4 that I'll be overseeing this year are hospitality and tourism, finance, digital media, and audio and visual production.
So the brand new NAP academies that Mr. Lynn's just mentioned earlier are the Simon Tech. So engineering, IT, or we often say comp sci, and then biomedical sciences. And so something to note here that we mentioned the program of study, these courses build on each other each year. They're connected, they're intertwined, they're part of the improved curriculum. And so for Simon Tech, if you're interested in any of these academies, you can either start the 9th or 10th grade year. You need to have enough time to complete the sequence. I know this is 9th grade, so we'll talk about the application process in just a second. But just keep in mind that this is not just a one-off class. Or like engineering, like you mentioned, is a program of study. We have a lot to offer within that, and we'll make sure your child gets the full benefit.
As mentioned earlier, I said we have 10, right? We have 8 CTE, 7 NAP. We have 2 that are, well, at least 3 that are designated at Jackson Reed High School, right? We have AAA, which is an academy for those interested in sports marketing, sports medicine. We also have the WISP, which is the former Wilson International Studies Program. And we have JROTC, and many of you might be looking like, well, there's, JROTC and other schools. That's correct, but we are one of 3 schools in the nation that will actually have a cybersecurity program. This year it was funded by the FBI. Round of applause, you guys are the first class. Then we're going to take these courses. Okay, so this is an amazing opportunity.
So one of the hallmarks of our academy is This is something that's required at the NAC Academy, so before students graduate or even up to the summer after they graduate, they have to complete a paid internship through the academies. These can range during the summer, which is 120 hours, and a paid summer internship. And also, we're now starting school year internships. They're also paid, and students can give it rating. Those are more so reserved for students that have completed at least 2 or 3 of the courses before they can enroll in that internship. These internships are amazing. They're at a lot of these really fancy organizations in the city. But also, my favorite part is that students have to apply, they have to interview, we have to become ready to interview, and they have to get accepted. So it's not just something they're handed, it's something they have to work for, and it's really fun getting them ready for the professional world in that way. So how can you apply as ninth graders? If your student's not sure, ninth grade, there's a lot of information that we're going over today. It's a lot coming into high school. They may not be ready or may not want to join this year, and that's completely fair. We'll be going into their classrooms, every single ninth grade classroom through the spring, making ourselves available if they want to join next year as sophomores. They will have that opportunity. But if your student is really excited or passionate about one of these academies, assign the tech academy specifically for ninth grade. So engineering, IT, or biomedical science, they can apply as freshmen. So the link is on our website. So you can see, if you go to the academies tab on the homepage, you can see the application there. Or you can just email me directly. So please take a picture of our email so you can pepper us with questions later. And so there's ways to really get involved, as long as there's space in the section, because our priority goes to 10th grade, right? But if there's any space in the section, the next priority goes to this application freshman.
And later on, September, early October, we will have an academy night. We'll go in more in-depth detail, so please be on the lookout for that as well. But in the meantime, if you do have questions, our emails are up there. Please feel free to reach out.
So I'm going to introduce who is not with us. Nadira Rick, she's our Assistant Athletic Director. She has been so kind to give us the eligibility requirements for fall sports. So the student must be enrolled with Jackson High School. Paperwork to be submitted must be the updated UHC and COVID vaccination proof, or request medical exemption or religious exemption. Of course, CDC has highlights now, updates now, so it might switch as far as proof of vaccination, but our contacts for this, they're located in Suite 8300, and the contacts are Nadira Ricks, is the Assistant Athletic Director. The administrative aide is Daniel Larios Hoya, and then we have the athletic trainer, Jamila Watson. So those will be your contacts for sports. And their email addresses are also on the Jackson Reed website. So I'm going to introduce Ms. Dion Clemens, who is over our clubs and activities. She's the coordinator. So give her a round of applause.
Hi everybody, again, I'm Dion Clemens. I'm over clubs and activities here at Jackson Reed. There's a lot to do here at Jackson Reed. Last year we had 50 plus unique clubs and activities going on. I'm sure that'll be the same this year. What you can do right now is you can go online on the website and look at some of the descriptions on the clubs. Some of them are Ethics Bowl, our art club, our pop culture club, and our photography club. You won't be able to sign up yet, but we're having a club and activities fair mid-September. So look out for the date and the flyer for that. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me. Thank you.
Okay, one of the great things about Jackson Reed is that we are very, very, very proud of our student leadership. And with that, your ninth grade will also be like student ambassadors. I do want to also thank our 12th graders who have volunteered their time to give you guys school tours, and our SGA leadership for joining us, and also they created the slides. So give them a round of applause. They'll just keep it real. We're going to start with our sponsor, Ms. Ramona Gerhardt. Speaking out.
Good evening, welcome class 2026. And yes, I'm Mr. Chani, but I want to introduce you the new elected officers, 2022-2023. We have the seniors, we have the juniors, we have the sophomores, but guess who's missing? What officers are missing now? Yes, the freshmen, okay? So, we did the election May, September, just be tuned because we are going to open the election to the freshmen. I want to give you some faces here. Come up here, because, yes. These are our public servants, these are the seniors, so look for them, especially during the first week. There's so much going on. They will be doing staff, they will be greeting you, and yes, they're there to help you. So, let's get to know them.
Okay, so my name is Amira. I'm student body president, and I'm a senior, of course. And, my name is Paige. I'm the third treasurer. Always ask questions as you know. Be sure to ask. Hi, I'm Ava, and I'm going to be the 10th grade class president. And I can't be you all. I'm Esther. I'm the 12th grade treasurer. I'm Gabrielle. I'm the 12th grade. I'm treasurer. It's teamwork. Teamwork. So they're gonna tell you more, but I wanna just tell you that all the things, the activities that we will do, how, what's the source, what they're driven by. They're driven by our values. Now, when you step inside our beautiful atrium, I know now there's some construction, but we're very proud of our beautiful atrium. You will see our values, the ROAR values: respect, ownership, attendance, responsibility. We respect our community, our beautiful community, our diversity. We're proud of that. And we take ownership, and this is the example: student leadership. Students are involved. We promote active citizenship. You will hear that a lot. And attendance, we are present, mentally, physically, there with our phones, okay? And then responsibility, we take care of our environment. And all that is student leadership. You saw so many options here to have an active role here at Jackson Reed, but definitely student government is one place where you can be part of that. So think of the elections. Next slide. We're very proud that this year we became a designated no place to hate school. And so again, when you go inside, you will see what we earned this year. Why? Because we care for our community. We want everyone to feel welcome, connected, and that's really the main work of SGA. And this year, we're going to earn that again. And it's a student-led action. This is just, the students need to earn that. They did it. They did it. So, and that's what we're really proud of. Amira, our student body president, will tell you more, give you a snapshot of what to look forward to for this year. Here you go. All right, hello. Are you guys ready for high school? Yes? No? Are you guys excited? No? Yes? Yeah? Okay. Okay, so let me give you some advice for high school. High school is nothing to be scared about. Come to high school thinking you can do anything, because that's what I did. And I'm student body president now. So that's a little advice. Come to high school, join clubs, do sports. That's how you make joining your friends here. Join hospitality. I'm in hospitality, and it's a way to make a lot of money this summer. Okay, so a few events we have Tiger Spirit Friday. That's what we need all of you to come out. Every single one of you. I don't care. Just try to figure out to come out. We need you there for sports. We need you to encourage all the athletes. show what you're wearing and express yourself. So we have that to express yourself for the first week, and we'll have more often. So be prepared for that. I think we have that on Thursday or the first week, Wednesday, I'm sorry. We have monthly cultural celebrations for everyone. We want to represent every student here. We don't want any student who felt left out. So we have one for Black History, LGBTQ, every single thing we have. We're here to represent you guys. Follow us on Instagram. Pull out your phones right now, and follow us right now. This is how you guys want to figure out what we're doing. Pull out your phones. Pull out your phones, follow us on Higher Students Gov. Listen to the morning announcement. This is how you guys will figure out what we're doing throughout the week. There, check your Canvas. They send out information on Canvas as well. So dig Canvas. If you're not on it, download it right now. Follow us on Instagram. And check the website. This is how you figure out all the events, and you would never be forgotten. Like you would know every single thing. Like you would know if we have a Spear Week coming up, if we have anything important for us. So take a picture, follow us right now. See you guys when we're doing tours and etc.
All right, give them a amazing round of applause. I'm so excited, energized, eager. We need more of that. Okay, so I'm going to also give you some important information about 2 cards that we have and where to go. So we're going to start with the Kids Ride Free card. We have our leading Art marked over that. So students will be contacting him. He used to be located on the second. He's now on the first floor. And so students can easily contact him for a Kids Ride Free card. And so following that, we're going to talk about the DC1 card. We have Dominic Burks, our 12th grade dean, and our 11th grade dean, Ariane Boone, who are over the DC1 cards. And actually, they will be available during lunchtime. You'll see them speed walking, trying to accommodate students for the DC1 cards. And after school, they're located in front of the main office, usually for the DC1 cards, okay? And those are your contacts for that information. Technology. We are a one-to-one school, so it is important that you understand our one-to-one policy. We have our strategy and logistics IT coordinator, we call him Tommy. He will be disseminating the devices, and then we have it per schedule, you can pick them up. So students are also permitted to use their own device, so you don't have to use the school device. And then we have communication, our direct communication for laptop requests will be sent out via email, robocalls, and remind to students and parents from the technology department. Again, we have created a schedule for the device pickup. So if you'll take a look, we have a schedule where you can pick up your device. You can take a picture of it. Our 9th grade team is August the 23rd, and let me go to the side, 9 to 12. And if you need a makeup day, it is Saturday. It is going to be Saturday, August, what is that, the 28th? Is it the 28th? 27th? 27th, thank you. So August the 27th on a Saturday from 9 to 12. That's your makeup day when you can't come on August the 23rd. That concludes our presentation. So, now we have scheduled tours and we have additional student volunteers who will be taking you on your tours. So you feel free to go on the tours. If you have any questions, we're ready for you. And we can only give you 5 minutes so that we can allow time for tours, okay? Individual questions? Oh, yes. Yeah, you can ask a question. I'm just going to. Athletic tryouts for fall sports, we have to contact Nadira Ricks because she's not here today to answer that. So any I will contact the director as she's the assistant athletic director. Are there any more questions? Yes, ma'am.
Anybody give a joke?
If you